Hey guys, welcome back to DeFi Top Signal. I'm with my co-host Drake. We are going to have the whole episode today to talk about meme coins. We're talking about some NFTs. We're talking about some new updates with the NFT sector, which is the Blur recent update from yesterday. We are going to talk little bit about the SWE drop that's going to happen on the 3rd of May, which is tomorrow, and yeah, that's some updates there. And so, Drake, what are your thoughts with this meme, coin season?
It is the liquidity black hole for memes. They are literally just taking up all of the liquidity from every other chain. It is still a PvP environment, and literally every token on every, well, not every token on every chain, but basically every chain is just down. There are no chains that are up. The only one, hey, actually, Conflux is up. I guess the China narrative is still pumping. It's only up 1% though. And Ethereum actually saw some inflows, but everything's relative. The reason it's receiving inflows is so people can go buy some meme coins, and you can obviously see that with both Bob and with Pepe. Those things are going nuts and ham. You can look at Bob; it's literally BOB as Ethereum for memes. I can't believe I'm saying this. And you can look at Pepe as the Bitcoin of memes. If those do well, the rest of the memes, they might do something, but if those end up pumping, those suckers, they suck up all the liquidity, like you're saying.
Do you really think that Pepe has the volume and the attraction to kind of exceed the OG memes like Doge and Shib?
Oh yeah, dude, the 24-hour volume on this thing is 62 million, and the liquidity is 7.2. Obviously, I don't think it's gonna get up to like Doge and Shib anytime soon, but the narrative and the camaraderie around it is huge. Like the holders, they increase literally every single day. They have over 75,000 holders. This is an increase of 5% from yesterday. I don't know if it's going to keep going up or not, but the holder base is constantly growing, and the reason why a holder base is important is if you have 1,000 holders and 75,000 holders, it's basically a 75% or not a 75%, 75x difference in shillers. So if you have 1,000 holders, you have 1,000 shillers. If you have 75,000 holders, you have 75,000 shillers. So people are like, Pepe, Pepe, Pepe to the moon. And then
Just
everyone talks about it, and it becomes a meme on YouTube channels where they're like, oh, don't buy Pepe. So, well, that does the complete opposite. Because people are like, Pepe, what is it? Whoa, no way. It went up like 200,000%. I'm going to buy some. It does the complete opposite of what people expect. Just like negative, well, not just like, but negative publicity is publicity.
that is true. I mean, everyone who thinks that BTC was going to tank or pump, at any single time, it's going to do the opposite, which is just in this case, it's the same exact thing, right? We're looking at Pepe launched just literally 13 days ago, and from top to bottom, I think the bottom price was at like 140, and it went to all the way to like almost 1,500, and we're talking about many decibels here, like decimals, and from top to bottom, it went. Sorry, from bottom to top, it went to 1,000, almost 1,000x. It's it's just money. People are throwing in $100, $27, or $50, and they're coming out and making life changing money. I have no idea how and why they bought into this initially, but kudos to those guys. They took the chance, they took the risk, and they're being paid very handsomely here. I honestly don't get it, Drake. We talked about this, a little earlier, and we said, and I mean, I said that I don't get the meme culture. I don't get the meme tokens. I don't. It convinced me otherwise. Tell me some like, why should anyone consider buying ETH? Sorry, not ETH. Consider buying a meme token like Doge, Shib, and in this case, Bob and Pepe. Why?
So it's, I mean, that's actually the biggest thing is for these meme coins. The more I guess that's a word. I don't know. The more non-fundamentals, or you know what I'm trying to say. The more fundamentals it doesn't have, and like, why in the world should I buy it? The more it's most likely going to pump. It's kind of what happened with Aptos. With Aptos just being massively outperforming the market, and it's like, why? It does. It's not that it does nothing, but it's like, why? Or the same thing with Kanto. Massive inflation, like it's the opposite of fundamentals, and people look at it and like, it's not going to pump. And again, it goes to that publicity statement where negative publicity is publicity. People talk about it more and say, hey, this is junk. It's almost like Hex. Everyone hates that coin. They talk about that coin. It does completely nothing. You literally stake it and earn more Hex. And they're coming out with something called Pulse Chain. And it literally, back in the previous bull market, it was literally the second token. Like, it was Bitcoin and then ETH. Or I'm sorry, Bitcoin then Hex. Hex had a larger market cap than ETH at one point. A lot of people don't realize that, but they didn't really display the actual market caps on CoinGecko or on CoinMarketCap. They just never updated correctly. But I can't really convince you on memes. Memes is just one of those things you look at it and you can relate to it. Like, it's hard to explain, but let's go to the bare bones basis of it doesn't have fundamentals. Well, come on. Stop, take a step back, and then look at the tokens that you think have fundamentals. Like, an example is GMX, or an example is I don't know, Uniswap. Like, give me some coins that you think have good fundamentals, just for you, for example.
I mean, let's just start with GMX because that's like a widely known asset.
What are the fundamentals of GMX?
It generates yield. The protocol makes real yield, makes real money off of fees, and they make a lot of it.
Okay, so why do people use GMX?
To earn solid yield, to stake their GMX tokens, and to trade. They trade the perpetuals off of crazy
Okay,
leverage
so why do people trade?
to make money.
Oh, okay, so that's it? Just make money? Oh, okay, cool. So why do people buy meme coins?
And I'm probably gonna guess this to make money.
To make money. That's it. There is, again, you take, if you take a step back, there are no fundamentals of any of these crypto assets besides potentially Bitcoin and ETH. That's it. There are no fundamentals for any of these other protocols. Just taking a step back. Sure, there are fundamentals inside the crypto ecosystem in order to help you make money better or make trades better or do this better. But if you take a step back and look, why are people buying these coins, or why are people having consensus that this is the coin? To make money. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But some people, well, actually most people, between me and you, we can sit there and break down the DD on a GMX protocol, understand it. It's a lot of complex topics, whatever you want to call it, and do a bunch of math and act like we did something and say, hey, look, this is consensus, this is something. Whereas with a meme coin, you look at it, John looks at it, Fred looks at it, we all look at it. It doesn't matter what our IQ is. We just know, hey, all we got to do is buy and hold this coin and its number go up. That's it.
Yeah, and it goes back to the fact that whenever I meet new people that gets onboarded in crypto, or they dabble in crypto and say, "Oh, you're into crypto," I'm like, "Yeah, I'm into it a little bit." And then once I find out, I'm like, "Hey, what's your top asset? What are you holding?" And they tell me straight off the bat they're holding Doge, and they tell me off the bat that they just recently bought SHIB. I'm like, "Why?" Right? And I just roll my eyes. I'm just like, "Okay, I've been around the block a few times here."
And hold
And
that,
when you
hold
tell
that
me,
thought right there. Take that
yeah, tell me.
spot. And you're just like, and you're like, why? So now, after you just spoke to John, who bought Shiv, and you gave no reason, you're now going to go tell Freddie, and you're going to be like, dude, John, he told me he bought Shiv. He has no idea what he's talking about. He just bought, what's Shiv? Oh, okay, cool. I'll go look it up tonight. He looks up Shiv. He's like, guys, I just bought Shiv. And then another guy is like, why the pants did you buy Shiv? And then he goes and tells his friends, and he's like, "This big dummy over here, he bought SHIB. Yeah, he's a big dummy." They go online, Google it. They're like, "SHIB. Oh, dude, this thing did a million X. I'm gonna buy some." That's it. That's all
Yeah.
it is, man. That's
It's just
all
really
it is.
it's the OG inside of me that says, okay, well, why did I get into crypto in the first place? Because of the fundamentals of blockchain technologies. Just what that's what it boils down to, right? The sheer utility behind it all. And then obviously ETH, was born years later, and now we have a mockery. And this is just going through my head as I'm thinking about just memes in general over the last handful of years. The mockery that blockchain is supposed to be something that people can use, but then now people are having fun, and it's just strange to me that these tokens are making life-changing money when we put in the time and effort to research
Life
ETH.
changing paper.
Uh, yes,
It's
yes,
not
that's
real
what. Yeah,
money. It's all
right.
on paper. You can't get out of there.
It's just it's an echo chamber when you're on crypto Twitter and you see something and it just replicates and everyone's just buying into it and the hype, right? Folks were saying 13 days ago when Pepe came out, 13 days ago, no one was talking about it. And then all of a sudden, one person tweets about it. And then this person has around 1,000 followers. And then it gets to the folks that has, 50,000 followers and 100,000 followers. And it's out of control. It is out of control. And I'm probably going to just, um, obviously let this pass because I'm not buying any tops. I'm not buying anything that has 1,000x or 100x even, or even 2x, 3x from yesterday. I can't do it. I can't do it. I want to because it's fun, but I just maybe
Just
I'll get
take
there
your
in the next
time.
round.
It's okay. Once you buy, then it goes to zero. Trust me. Whenever I buy something, that marks the top. So once I buy in, we're going to zero, guys. I'm
So
sorry.
so I asked you earlier that if you think Pepe was going to surpass SHIB and Doge in terms of market cap and still maintain it, right? Is it the next? Is it going to be overtaking those things? Those two top tokens, and is it going to be maintaining that position? It's a question mark, right? It's tough
Um,
to say, but let's look at a tweet, and I'm gonna read this out loud. Pepe gets listed. This is from a tweet from yesterday. Pepe gets listed on OKX. PC, which is the Pepe chain, will get listed on a centralized exchange as well.
oh, when is
Um,
that? I like Pepe Chain.
Here it is. Here it starts. Here it starts. So Pepe Chain, it's following the Pepe chart. Pepe market cap is at 400 million. This was from yesterday. The Pepe Chain has a market cap of 10 million. It's PC
There's
holders.
like
This is the
no liquidity on it. I hold some Pepe Chain. I also hold some Pepe. I hold a bunch of these random coins, but I mean it's only got 300K in liquidity, and it's a 7.3 mil market cap. You can't get out. You can't exit. Like if you got $1 million in that token, you're not getting out. You're not getting out alive. I
um,
hate to say it to you, but you're gonna be a PC millionaire.
yeah, but it's just so tough. I can't bring myself down to it. Maybe on the next meme token run up. Maybe once everything kind of pops off and the memes are just sitting there. Maybe I'll throw in $100. I don't know. and just test this theory that once all the memes have dried out, and then all the L1s, L2s, all the AI narratives and real world asset narratives. Once that dies down on the next, right? Maybe when memes are dead, I will probably throw it in and just test this theory. And speaking of which, once the meme tokens, and this is actually, and I was looking back at this. Um, Typically, when it comes to memes, when they pop off, when the meme tokens are kind of going crazy and it's meme madness, right? We tend to see, and I'm just going to look at my notes really quick. We tend to see a typical meme season, and it's usually followed by an NFT surge.
Is it?
Yes.
I thought usually when you get it, well, actually, it depends when the meme season starts. The meme season is typically at end of a bull market. It is not good. Like it is not good. It just means everything's going to zero. That's the last giga pump. But I don't know if this is actually the start of a bull market. Would be nice. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's insane because if you look back at history, right?
We're
Here's the
we're
op-
consolidating right now, man. We're
we
still
are.
between this 25.5 and 30,500. And I was thinking we're going to consolidate for this. I said this like 2 weeks ago, but I don't know how long it's going to consolidate in this. It's one of those things until we break above. Then I think we can consider at least a eco bubble, maybe not a giga bull run like to next all time highs. It'll be similar to what it was in like 2017, where we pumped from like it was like 3K to like 7, then we retraced a bit, and then we ended up resuming all the way up to like 13K, and then we went to like 3K for 2020. But actually, it was 2019 when this started, and in 2020 we went to like 3K with the COVID, and then we zoomed up to 69K, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so looking back at the NFT seasons, right? They usually follow meme season, and this happened in 2020. This happened in 2021 in May. This happened in 2021 in November, and this happened also in Q1 of 2022. Just saying, like that's based on history, based on whatever has happened in the last 3 years. Just keep an eye out. Potentially, I mean, I'm deep into NFTs. I love it, and so I'm hoping for it, right? And so hopefully it happens for me, for my sake, and for my bags. But you do bring a good point up when we talk about this range that we're in with BTC and the price action. It's interesting because we're kind of consolidating, and it's true that we're above like this 25,200 BTC strong support level that we recently broke out of. Awesome, but I'm looking at a couple big names like Benjamin Cohen, right? Um, he's the he's the CEO and founder of Into the Cryptoverse. You can follow him on Twitter, and he's a big following on YouTube. He's got like 750K followers on Twitter, but he was basically one of his videos, just recent ones, and I think he posted this yesterday or 2 days ago. He wrote about saying that typically what the price range is, what it's doing today. He's saying that we pump 2023, the first half we pump, and he's calling for a second half up until October or November we dump.
Wait, so
And
he's thinking we pump till October or November?
no, he's saying that the first half of this year, obviously it's
Hmm.
May, right? We have one more month to go, but he's saying the first half we pump. And he's calling for a dump in the second half,
So
but
when's the second half start? After May?
second half is July 1st.
Huh.
You
Okay.
know him, right?
Yeah,
You've seen his
Ben's
videos,
cool.
yeah.
Ben's cool.
Very knowledgeable guy. He's insane, respectable, and so just kind of added a little extra layer there of complexity of price action and all that. So I have cash on the side. I'm waiting. If this were to happen, great. If it doesn't, I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I have some yielding assets right now that I'm very happy with, and we can kind of discuss that. Um, so I wanted to talk about the next the next topic, and it's the Blur update, right? So Blur released a new functionality, a new twist into their protocol. It's the Blur lending. It's called Blend. They tweeted yesterday.
Hey,
It is now.
before we get into that, let's talk about
Yeah.
some of the memes.
Oh, the memes.
Yeah, we got to finish up with some of the meme coins.
Oh, which ones?
All right, so Wojak is one of them.
Oh,
Well, okay,
that's
yeah, we got to run through them at least.
that's. Oh
Uh,
yeah, I forgot about that one. Yes,
Come
go
on.
ahead.
You got Pepe. So Pepe is basically like your meme coin that's like Bitcoin. That's what you can look at it. Then you got Bob. Bob is basically your Ethereum of the meme coins. These are both on Ethereum network. And then you also have another one. This is AI Doge. This is on Arbitrum, but this is a really high market cap. This one's like 156 mil. But it's basically like a yield farming Ponzi built into a meme coin to where it has a 10% tax that when you buy the coin, it's 10% tax. And then when you go to LP the coin or stake the coin, you also have to pay a 10% tax. So it's taking advantage of those taxes by allowing you to chase after a yield farm. Like you can stake an LP token, earn an astronomically high yield. But how it's taking advantage of the taxes is as soon as you buy it, it's 10%. As soon as you deposit into LP, 10%. As soon as you withdraw LP, 10%. Sell, 10%. So it's turning that 10% tax into basically 40% because it's multiplying the transactions that you do, which go to feeding this Ponzi. Then you got another one called Wojak. Now, Wojak, like guys, there's again, we were already talking about this. There are no fundamentals of these. Wojak is literally just another meme of like I don't even know what a Wojak is, but it's basically just like a green guy. Is Wojak the guy who is always memeable on Twitter, like with the bloody face and like random stuff? Is that what a Wojak is?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, well that's a Wojak then. It's like that random face, like that goofy face that you usually see in like the bell curve and whatnot. I guess that's what a Wojak is. But yeah, that's the meme. The meme coin is that. That thing's been up nuts and ham. It's what? How many bars is this? I think it's up like in the past since April 30th. It's up 400%. Nice. It's a 45 mil market cap. Then you got other ones that are just simply just memes like Rogan and Musk. These are just, in my opinion, these are like search result memes. You type in Joe Rogan, maybe Rogan token pops up and someone's like, no way, Joe Rogan's got a token. Same junk, different day for Elon Musk. And then you got simple ones that are just like bull, Bull, which is like, hey, people are searching bull market. Oh, bull. Oh, okay. I'll buy the meme coin. It's a bull market, whatever. Then you got ones that are quote unquote reflection fundamental Ponzi tokens. These are going to be like PP, which is print the Pepe, which basically is a reflection token that pays you in Pepe tokens as people buy and sell it. Then you have other ones that are derivatives of those print the Pepe, which is like BB and UPP, which are paying out in Bob tokens, which again, that's, I know, it's like all kinds of random junk. Then you got other random meme coins like Ponzi, which is just calling it what it is. You got Cope, which is just like, I don't know, it's just like bull, and it's just like Wojak. It's like, why? But whatever. You got Aped. This one's basically being shilled a bunch on Twitter. Then you got Pepe Chain. We talked about that. It's basically going to be a meme chain of memes. But forget it. There are a bunch of meme coins, but this is what's interesting. I was actually looking. One that I kind of like to mess around with, or at least look at, is look for ones that are getting a ton of volume and that have somewhat of a stable price and don't have a bunch of gas fees. Like the chain doesn't have a bunch of gas fees, and it doesn't have crazy taxes. Why? Because when you're LPing and withdrawing, you don't want those taxes to eat it. There are actually a couple coins on like Arbitrum and ZK Sync. You can check out and see the liquidity to volume ratios to see how it is. I'm not going to share what this coin is, but if you're looking for it, you might be able to find it. In the past 24 hours, it's had $665,000 in volume, and there's only a total of $91,000 in liquidity. So in 24 hours, you're basically going to be earning an APR of like 1,000% for LPing with this coin. And the price has been, actually, it's been going up. It's gone up over 150%. So you would be making money from the yield. You'll be earning from token appreciation. Oh, wow, it just jumped. Like another 20% just while I was talking. There's like no liquidity on it, but you're earning all the swap fees because the liquidity to volume ratio is so diverted to where there's like no liquidity. And if you have a percent or a small percentage of this pool, you're going to be earning like all of it. like all of the fees, and you have like no gas fees on the chain. And this one in particular is on ZK Sync. There's a potential that you get an airdrop because ZK Sync. Just just look just look for things like that. I gave you guys the information, the ideas, and a couple of random meme coins. Look for ones that have a high volume, or actually that would be a low volume to liquidity ratio. That way, if you want to look for one that has not a lot of liquidity but an extremely high volume, so you can take advantage of that by the swap fees, and looking for one that holds a stable price because you don't want it to be extremely volatile and doesn't have taxes and low gas fees. I would say Pepe is pretty cool, but you got high gas fees, but you're going to be making bank as long as that token price holds up. Why? Because there's $7.4 million in liquidity. In the past 24 hours, it's had $62 million in trading volume. So if we do 62 divided by 7, so basically 8.8 times 0.3. So you're basically earning about 3% in fees a day. So in 30 days, you get your money back and fees and whatever you have. And obviously, you have token appreciation if it keeps going up like it is. But
It's
yeah,
just
that's
insane.
crazy, dude. Oh, and that's also one other thing I want to talk about. This is the what is the word? I'm trying to say this in a nice way, but this is the crazy thing about this. We'll use crazy instead of a worse word. Um, it A lot of people don't really talk about this, but when people create a meme coin and they lock the LP like it's a good thing and they own the liquidity, it's technically not a good thing. It's basically um, people look at it like, oh, this is great. It's considered a okay rug. Like, let me explain how this works. As a guy who is launching a meme coin, let's say I put in 50K in liquidity. So we'll just call 10 ETH 50K worth. It's not, it's worth, or there's more ETH to make that up. But let's say I put 10 ETH into an LP pool paired with my random meme coin that I just invented, and I lock this liquidity for 3 months. People think that's bullish because the liquidity is there. I'm not rugging, whatever. People are happy. Like, yes, this is awesome. But I own that liquidity pool. At the end of the 3 months, I'm going to get all those tokens back plus the fees earned. So any of the volume is literally just gravy. Now you're probably saying, well, what if the meme coin goes to zero? You own the liquidity pool. The guy who released the token owns the liquidity pool. So if it goes to zero, he's fine with it. He just withdraws, he gets his original ETH back, and then whatever those tokens are worth completely nothing. And then he has all those swap fees that happened on there. It's basically a no risk for the guy releasing the token, and he also has upside because if he has tokens and he started dumping on everyone as everyone was buying in because he got in first because he's the dude who released it, he makes money from selling and dumping on people. One, two, he makes money from all of the swap fees, and three, he has no downside because at the end of the lock, he gets all his money back. That is the uh, stuff that's kind of swept under the rug with these meme coins that people don't realize. And once it goes to zero, what holds them back from launching another meme coin and leveraging all the people or leveraging the networking that he already had, or the experience that he already had in learning how to market it? Like the networks of, hey, I go to this guy to do a Twitter thread for $500, and I realize, hey, look, I get like, I don't know, 1,000 new followers or 1,000 new people who buy my coin. He's just going to go through the same exact avenues. He already has the people he knows that's going to buy this coin and think they're going to make life-changing wealth, and he's going to take advantage of that. Just something to keep in mind.
So you brought up a good point about the person who created a meme token. It's successful and all that, and he can do the same exact thing. And then more people will catch on, and they'll do the same exact thing. And then more people will, and then there's so many derivatives that come out. every single day, if not every single hour.
I'm convinced a lot of these derivatives are from the same exact dev.
Probably, yeah. I think that makes most sense because if they can do this and kind of like, I mean, they know that's how it works, right? If you have one meme token, if you have one DEX, if you have one this and that, there's going to be other ones. And why would you have the second person who knows how trends work? Well, why would like you would definitely just put one meme token out today, do one tomorrow, do one the day after, and just kind of it's a business, Yeah, it's just and also I know the Crypto Banter group, the team, they are going to show you how it's done live tomorrow.
What do you mean
So
show you how it's done?
they're gonna show you how to make a meme token in minutes on their show tomorrow. It's like one of their live shows.
Oh boy.
They said it today, so I think there's gonna be just be careful out there, guys, because there's a lot of people out there that's going to make tokens. It's going to have zero utility. It's going to have zero marketing, and they're just going to rug. I mean,
Don't worry.
not that the
Once
banter
Banner
group is going to
talks
rug.
about it, it'll be a top.
Yeah. So I think that's just it goes to show that it's so easy for any tokens to be launched out there and people can be scammed. So, otherwise, Pepe for the win.
Pepe to the moon.
Shall we move on to Blur?
Maybe. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Enough
So
memes. I don't
yeah.
want to hear Pepe again. I'm tired.
Yeah, so Blur is basically has their lending platform, right? It's a new unique function that they just released and it went live yesterday. It's called Blend. So the idea behind this is that if you have a punk, and I'm just reading off of their tweet, if you have a punk, you can now borrow up to 42 ETH within seconds. If you have an Azuki, you can now borrow, you can now pay 2 ETH up front, and then basically, so Blur has this incentive where if you're farming and you're bidding, you're essentially farming their token, which is what they're doing, right? Like you have this point system on the Blur website, and you can get this massive airdrop with money. And I received an airdrop. I think you and we talked about this, Drake. You received it as well. This Blur airdrop, like I think it was like 2.5 months ago.
Yeah, I got like
Um,
$200.
yeah.
Wasn't bad.
Yeah. So Blend is essentially it launched with 3 collections. They're doing this with 3 collections at this moment in time, at 3 different price points to start. They're doing it with CryptoPunks, they're doing it with Azukis, and they're doing it with My Ladies. I don't know why they chose My Ladies. I don't even know why that's even if it's even up there. That's I would say My Lady collection is probably the meme of all NFTs. I don't know. I just don't like their art. It's just it doesn't make sense to me, right? But
That's it.
we're in
There you
crypto.
go.
We just So number 3 is that borrowing, right? So today the only way to get liquidity off your NFTs is to sell them. If you have a punk and want to buy a new NFT for 10 ETH, but don't have the money in your wallet, you have to sell your punk. So this forces holders out of collections and hurts the floor price. So with Blend, the NFT holders can borrow ETH against their NFTs without needing to sell. That right there is just like you can buy now and pay later. Like that's essentially that's what you do with a car loan or a mortgage. Like you pay a little bit now and then you pay as you go. It's dangerous, to be honest with you. I don't necessarily like this idea. I know that there's other protocols out there, these NFT protocols that allow you to do this, to borrow against your NFT assets. Great, that's fine. It's not a new idea, but with the Blur token essentially being farmed right now from their platform, people racking up points. It has shown that it was hurting NFT floor prices across all big collections because people are just accepting bids and putting more bids in, and then it incentivizes people to panic sellers to fall into the bids, and then these whales would then list it at a higher price, and it's just they're bidding and they're just farming that Blur token. But in this case, I don't know what to make of it because they're essentially doing this peer-to-peer perpetual lending for NFTs. And is it good for the floor prices? Is it good intrinsically for these NFT collections? I have no idea. I don't know if it's going to be a good thing for NFTs or a bad thing of NFTs. I just what is your take on it, Drake?
That's safe, right?
It's safe.
I don't think it's gonna end well, man. I
Yeah,
don't think it's gonna end well. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I just don't think it's gonna end well.
I'm gonna read a tweet that I found that some guy was talking about this on Twitter about this whole upgrade and this new mechanism. So this tweet comes out from fuser.eth. He says, "I mean, I get what Blur is trying to do here, but on a serious note, you would lose your NFT if you didn't check Blur every 24 hours. I think this part is below is ridiculous. Imagine taking out a loan and using the ETH for something else, which is the purpose of the loan, only to find out that the loan has been randomly recalled and you need to get back the ETH within 30 hours or whatever, the notification is.
Yeah,
So you could be a few hours left of your NFT and it potentially could be lost. And he had a screenshot that it came from the Blur website and it says close your loan at any time to claim your ETH and interest. When you close out a loan, the borrower will have 30 hours to repay your loan or refinance it with another loan offer. If the borrower doesn't repay or refinance your loan, you'll get their NFT instead. This normally will only happen when the NFT floor falls below your loan amount. Do you agree to the terms? And then you hit continue. That's just crazy. That's crazy to me.
today's podcast was brought to you guys by Quinta.io. If you guys would like to trade up to 50x leverage with different assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, and several other altcoins, as well as even Forex like the Euro and British Pound, you guys can check out Quinta.io. Quinta.io has some of the lowest trading fees of the perp dexes, and you can even earn some Quinta as well as OP rewards. Make sure you guys check out Quinta.io today.
Another layer of
It just can't. I don't think it's gonna end well. I mean, it's just.
I don't like it. I think this is dangerous. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it at the end of the day, you got a bunch of illiquid JPEGs with a bunch of loans on them, and I mean, at the end of the day, worst case scenario, if everyone gets wrecked. I mean, it's like, who's going to buy that NFT? Like, if someone's just like, hey, this isn't an NFT anymore, it's not worth any value. At that point in time, it's who's going to be buying the bags. I mean, I could see it like as valuable for if I got a bunch of NFTs and I want to cash out, I'm gonna get as many loans as I want, and I'm just gonna default on them. Like if I wanted to cash out and like get rid of them, that's one way you can do it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, man. It's going to be a way for people to exit without having to wait. I guess they can rage exit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're also providing loan possibilities and offers out to people that want to borrow against your, and you set your, I know folks I've been reading about this, and the people who have the assets, right? And they allow to people for folks to, to take a loan out of their own asset, and they set the terms and this and that. So the terms, I've read a few of these folks that are literally just doing, hey, here's a loan, but I'll set it at 0 APR or APY, right? 0%. Who wouldn't take that? So the reason why they're doing that is because the person who has the asset, who's offering the loan, is essentially farming the Blur token still. So it really just comes down to the farming of the token. It's not good. I'm kind of at a loss. I don't know if this is good or bad. I tend to think that it's going to be bad. It might be good in the short term, but it could be bad in the long term. Like,
Are you sure?
What's the point of the Blur token in general, right? Like, people just
Are
sell
you
it.
sure leverage is a bad thing?
I don't
It's a
know.
joke.
I
That's a
don't
joke.
know.
It's not good.
I don't know. It's just weird to me that they did that, and and on top of that, I just want to close with this blur topic is from Degenerate News, right? Degen News. It says from yesterday, 3 hours ago, they said Blur reached 74% ETH NFT daily volume of the market share yesterday. So it was the highest in 30 days after it launched their peer-to-peer perpetual lending protocol for NFTs.
I would like to see the actual volume on that. That's what I'd be interested to see. Like, is it NFT volume or is it ETH volume?
It says NFT. It says reached 74% ETH NFT daily volume market share yesterday.
Right. What I'm saying is like, how much ETH is that different? Is it the same amount, just more NFTs? Because now you can buy like a house with a fraction of the money, or in this
I see
case,
what you're
it'd be,
saying. I
yeah,
see what you're saying. Yeah, so it's just that they aggregated the stats and numbers from Blur, LooksRare, OpenSea Pro, OpenSea, and then other NFT platforms. So it's just the NFT platforms. So
got
it
it.
looks like Blur has all of the like majority, 74% of that volume just through NFT platforms.
Got it. Makes sense.
They're taking over, and they took OpenSea's money.
Get them. Get
Yeah,
them.
that's what happens when you innovate, right? Um,
Yeah. Innovate. Innovate my buns. I ain't no innovating.
yeah, I mean, if you just sit there and don't do anything, aka OpenSea, for the longest time, it's people are gonna. You don't even have a token. Like that's what hurts. And I'm not saying that OpenSea needs to have a token, but to compete with other NFT markets and other protocols, you got to do something different, right? You got to do something to compete and to be there at the table, right? And if you want to maintain that dominance, innovate, do something different, offer
When
something
are
that
they
they
going to
use.
give some utility for Blur? I think what they should do is that Blur token, in order to get like a loan, you got to have like 10% put up in Blur or something goofy. I don't
Like
know.
they don't even have a staking mechanism for any of this. So like people are just taking this token and they don't have anything to do with it. There's
Well, I mean,
nothing to
if you
do.
think about it, they need to do something for the flywheel. Although, I mean, they don't need to. It's whatever they can
Right.
do whatever they want. But
That's
I'm
exactly what
saying
I'm saying.
if they're farming and allowing people to get these loans and whatever and earn Blur and at the same time doing it, I think it would just be smart to at least say, just similar to what Rocket Pool does. Hey, if you want to get a loan, you got to have 5% in the loan paid in our token or whatever, or held up as a deposit or something. Like
Yeah,
I don't know.
like think about it. Yeah, exactly. Just to add on to that, like if you want, there should be tiers, right? There should be threshold levels where if you want to take out $1,000 of a loan, right, from Blur, if you have an NFT, you're supposed to have an X amount of Blur tokens, right? Let's just say that Blur is at $1 per token. You have 1,000 of those to take out a loan off of it. Like, if you're gonna try to do this, yeah, exactly. Incentivize the folks that are holding and farming your token. Rather, you're not doing anything with the token. It's exactly right. I agree with you. I agree. You have to maintain that value, the intrinsic value, and also the price of that token. If you want your protocol to thrive, do something different. Do a staking mechanism, something basic as that, to earn, 10, 20, 30%. I don't care, right? But I don't know. If I think there needs to be thresholds where if you're looking to take out an X amount of money and perform these this functionality of lending and borrowing off their platform, okay, we'll have a certain amount staked of Blur tokens. Something simple as that.
Maybe it's a meme coin. I don't know.
Well,
It's a joke.
yeah, maybe. And I won't buy it. I still won't buy
Yeah,
it.
it's one of those things. It's like, dude, I think why people buy these things is just because it's like a lottery ticket. Why do people buy lottery tickets? It's because they think they can win something. Just like Wojak, we were just talking about Wojak. It's literally up another 20%. It doesn't make any sense. A Wojak, I actually Googled it and looked it up. Like it's another thing. Like I'm buying Wojak. What's Wojak? People Google it. Oh, that's funny. I'm gonna buy the meme coin. Like I don't know why. It's I don't know. It's a meme. It's cool though. It's fun.
Yeah.
As long as you don't get taken away and understand that when meme coins pump, it's actually a sign that there is a lot of risk on activity right now. There are people wanting to degen, like straight up. They want the market to pump. The market is trying so hard. They just want it to go up.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's whatever. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
And just getting off the blur topic really quick and just kind of just flowing into the NFT section. I wanted to talk about the like Blur. Okay, just let's just close in closing. Blur is just has made this new mechanism, and it's I don't know if it's bullish or bearish, but it's we'll see what happens with the floor prices and all that. Of course, since yesterday, the three collections um that they wanted to launch based on certain different levels of the floor prices. They wanted to do with punks, Azukis, and my ladies. So punks are around like the 50 ETH floor. Azukis were around like 15 ETH floor, and then my ladies were around like 2.6, 2.7 at the time. Today, all of those collections, those three, have gone up. Coincidence? I don't know. And to think, as soon as they make an announcement for other collections that they're going to do this for, potentially they will pump as well. I don't know. I mean, this is what we're seeing. It's they are offering three different collections. They're doing this for the peer-to-peer lending. They all simultaneously went up. And within 24 hours, they're up big. Izuki's
you
were
know
at
me, man.
7. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I was saying, you know me. I'm just potatoes. Potatoes and NFT. Well, I mean, I do like some other ones, like what is it? Sad Times NFT. That one's a pretty interesting community. And then you got I like Azuki's. I just never bought one. I like Sappy Seals. Obviously, I got one. And then the Pudgies. Those guys are some cool guys. And then Jack Butcher's creations, the
Oh
Czechs
yeah,
and
that's right.
Opepin. I mean, I don't think they have great fundamentals compared to something like uh, crypto potatoes. The reason why I call and claim that they have good fundamentals is just mainly 9gag. He's a really good marketer,
Yep.
smart guy,
Yep.
but
Yep.
that's really it on that.
Yeah, I mean, I just one last thing with Yuga Labs. Obviously, I talk about them all the time. I think that they're making and creating this metaverse that literally they are going to be the forefront of it all. They have the money, they have the team for it, and they just made some big fundamental upgrades with their team. So started from the top, the CEO, Daniel Algray. He's the new president and CEO. He came
Okay,
from Activision Blizzard.
no
So
way.
World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, etc. Number two is that the CTO, Mike Sievers, he's going to be um, the CEO there, and he came from Epic Games. Obviously, you heard Epic Games, Fortnite, Unreal Engine, etc. And then the third guy basically came. His name is Spencer Tucker, um, president at Scopely. He does a lot of like mobile games and stuff. So they just made these few you know um, fantasy pickups, so to speak. And literally they have this team that's in place, and they had a consensus conference last week. And just a few quotes. I just want to throw it out there. And these are all you can look this up from Adam Hollander. He's a big NFT guy in this space. He's got a lot of followers on Twitter. So he quoted the CEO of Yuga Labs, which is Daniel. He said, "quote unquote, what would be your vision to get 115 million monthly active users?" And the CEO replied, "Well, that would be undershooting it where I want this to go." Right. Next quote is, "How long until we get to a persistent stake for other side?" And then Daniel replied, "Soonish." And then another quote is, "We would want to make sure the other deed holders get significant value." That's from Daniel. And then somebody asked, "What is a coda?" And Daniel replied, "A coda is something you must have." So everything is
Okay.
super, yeah, everything is super like, okay, buy this, very bullish on the project, right? But he came from a massive background. The CTO came from a massive background. The CTO was just only picked up about a week ago, and the guy, Mike Sievers, came from Fortnite. So Epic Games, huge. Activision Blizzard, huge. So the team is there. The original founders are taking a step back. And I wouldn't maybe not taking a step back, but they're actually trying to do what they do best, develop. They're running their core teams, and this is they wanted to have people in place to properly manage the day-to-day operations and all that. So these are the guys that they hired recently, and I once I read this, so last week I made a big move. I purchased and picked up a mutant ape, and decided to I paid around 11.75 ETH for my mutant ape, and I'm very happy with it because I kind of
Man, that other guy got a deal.
yeah. What, you wouldn't pay 11.75 ETH for a mutant ape?
I would accept
Uh,
that.
yeah, so I'm actually earning yield on top of that. So the main point of me picking that up, the whole idea is that you can stake these, to earn ape tokens. And there's a website if you want to follow. It's apecoinui.com/data. So you can basically see the live staking data, how much the staking pool would be, dishing out and how much it would pay, right? So if you just had ape tokens, you can get a 50% APR. It'll pay that, if you just have ape tokens. Great. If you have a BASE, which is a Bored Ape, you can pair that with a handful of ape tokens, which I think that handful comes out to be around 10,000 ape tokens. You can pair that together, you'll earn 117% APR. A Macy, which I have, I can take my Macy and add ape tokens to pair it with to this protocol, which is sponsored and backed by Yuga Labs. It pays out 121%. And if you have one of those dogs, which is the Bored Ape Kennel Club, you can earn 127% APR. Obviously, pairing that with ape tokens. So it's nice to have an NFT JPEG that's generating yield for me on a day-to-day basis. There's no lockup periods. I'm playing it as my DCA money, right? I'm very bullish on Yuga, so I anticipate this mutant ape to be much higher prices in terms of floor. And I'm also really bullish on the ape token because as soon as the other side comes out, and this is going to be a little bit, right? It's going to take a little bit. But once that happens, and the ape token is already known to be the token that's going to be transacted within the other side. So the point of it all is that the team is there. They hired some ballers in this in the gaming space, and so I think that with this big recent dip with NFTs, once memes go off, I am hoping that that the trend continues, that the memes are done, then people will start rotating NFTs. Maybe. If not, no big deal. I think that Yuga is going to be a very strong contender with the metaverse, which is why I picked it up, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is to letting you guys know that this is where I think if they do it right, it's going to pay very handsomely for me. So just letting
Well,
hmm?
speaking of fundamentals, I know you're kind of talking about it with the memes. I mean, there are a lot of crypto projects with actual good fundamentals that are just on sale, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One, I made a thread on this was ED Finance. They deployed on Arbitrum, but man, I just looked at their stats. They did 9.78 mil. This was yesterday. They did 7.57 the day before, 6.91. These guys are in the millions now, whereas before they were barely getting over a million. These guys are doing over, man, the past week they've been doing at least 5 mil in volume a day. That's 5x difference than what they were doing. They also got on board a new investor and basically swapped. It was like $20,000 or $25,000 to get ED tokens, which this market cap of ED, what the snap? I looked at Wojak again. It's up another 40%. Anyways, so ED, let's see. ED is their market cap that they say is actually no, they corrected it. It's a 309K market cap. So, I mean, at its peak, it was like because this is deployed on Binance Smart Chain and on Avalanche or on Arbitrum. At its peak, it went to like I don't even remember what it was. I just know it was high. It was like $16 or $20 at its peak. But what was it? I'm trying to see if I can pull it up. Oh yeah, this is like 16 or $20 at its peak. The point is, it's trading at $1 right now, and I was looking at it. I did end up buying some around 50 cents, 50 and 55 cents, and now the thing is already trading at $1.05, $1.10. It actually retraced. It went up to $1.50 over the weekend. But I think ED is going to be one of those things where I don't know if you guys remember Level Finance or not, but it's giving me Level Finance vibes. I remember not fading it, but I was in Level Finance. I was farming it. I was doing extremely well token wise, but the token dipped from 15 cents to 8 cents, and I got shooken out. It went down to 6 cents, and I was like, oh, I made an amazing decision. Then they announced the investor going in, and then I was like, snap. And it already giga pumped. It pumped like a 5x immediately after the dude did that. And it started trading at like 40 cents. And I was like, forget it. It'll come back down. Never came back down. Went to $1, $1.50, $2. I finally bought back in. And at its peak, Level Finance topped out around $12. I'm getting that same vibe right now, still from ED Finance. The stats and volume, they're actually looking higher and better than what Level Finance was. But I'm getting those vibes from ED Finance. I don't know if it'll play out. I don't know if it'll do the same thing as Level Finance. I don't think it can compete with GMX. But I like the risk to reward. It's a low market cap. And I try to stick with what the vibes give me. But I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. At this point in time, it's basically just a moon bag for me. I got in much lower. So I think if you're able to get in at lower prices, I think it would be a good risk to reward. But we'll see what happens.
Where do the folks buy it?
This is on Arbitrum and Binance Smart Chain. I wouldn't touch
Okay.
the Binance Smart Chain one. Not financial advice. The stats on Arbitrum are good. They're actually like two separate tokens. They said they're going to connect them in the future, but right now they're two completely separate tokens. Like the Arbitrum ED is Arbitrum ED, and the Binance Chain ED is Binance Chain ED. Level Finance actually had an exploit this weekend. If people weren't aware, it was an exploit with its referral mechanism. So it wasn't to the protocol itself, but still, it's one of those things. Maybe people are going to be looking for a better alternative or a different alternative. I'm not saying ED Finance is better. In fact, it still needs to prove itself, but it's one of those projects that you look at and it's like, at least it's probably not going to rug because they've been around for a bit. It's not like a new project that's like, oh, hey, look, shiny new object. This is cool. It's been around for a bit. So we'll see what happens.
Cool. Sounds good.
And I guess other projects as well, like Gains Network, GMX, those stats also still nuts and ham. GMX D2, I think, is releasing this quarter. But I don't know. There's a lot of new things coming for Gains Network and GMX. I wouldn't call them new things, but those devs and the guys are constantly innovating over there. And I think a lot of these things are just going on sale. I mean, speaking of Equalizer on sale, look at Equalizer on Phantom. This
Big
thing
time.
is dumped. Like,
Yeah.
I think people are just selling the babies with the bathwater now to ape into Pepe Coin and Wojak. I mean, stinking it's under a milli market cap, and this basically is the top decks on Phantom. If Phantom gets any traction whatsoever, like I'm pretty sure it will, 45-year runway, Andre's going to pump it. Equalizer is going to get some love. Just period. Like it's under
Yeah.
$1 million market cap, and it's driving most of the volume. It's the I call it PE ratio, like you would in the stock market. The basically the bribe to earnings ratio for the protocol itself is like 0.5. Compared to something like Velodrome on Optimism, it's like 10.5. The difference between that is a 20x or 21x. Yeah.
Well, it's
Something
got to
like
be
that.
it's got to be reflective of the TVL, no?
No, forget TVL.
Okay. Okay.
I mean the there is TVL in there. Both of them like equalizers like 28 mil, 30 mil. I was going off fees, earnings, like actual money
Mm.
it earns.
Mhm,
Again,
mhm.
I don't care if some dude is driving in revenue of $800 million and someone else is driving $100 million, and the guy driving in 100 mil makes 50 mil profit, and the other guy only makes 50 mil. Who's making more? I
Yeah.
mean, they're making the same exact amount, but the dude driving 100 mil in volume is generating more profits. It's more profitable. So if there is any increment of additional volume, he's going to be making more. And it's more likely for a dude who's only driving $100 million in volume compared to someone who's in 800 milli. Why do I say that? Well, I'm going based on the TVL that's on the chain. The TVL on Phantom Chain is like, I don't know, 400 mil right now, and Optimism is about 900 mil. So just factoring that in, Velodrome basically is Optimism. There is like no other protocol. All the TVL is basically on Velodrome. I mean, sure, it's like 25, 30%, but still, my point is Velodrome has a massive share of Optimism. The only way it can gain more is if more people come into Optimism and pile into that. Whereas on Phantom, it still has that chance of A, people piling into Phantom, and B, it has people piling in from other protocols seeking for a better yield where it's treated best. So it's kind of a rant, but yeah, meme coins, bull, uh, Pepe, Wojak, they go up because they're goofy.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
easier
agree
to
with you.
explain. That's what I'm saying. That's why meme coins do well. You just
Yeah.
say meme coin, good. It's just like the stock market too.
Buy, buy,
Why in the
buy,
world
right?
why does Tesla do the best? GameStop. Why? No
Right.
fundamentals. It's losing money.
Bed Bath
But
Beyond. Why?
why? It's because people are like meme. Bed Bath Beyond losing money. Funny. Cool. Buy.
Yeah. High short interest.
Okay.
Easy.
I short it. Whatever. What is that supposed to mean? Oh, I know what it means. But it's like you're gonna bet on squeezing out the shorts. Okay, go for it. I mean, it made sense for GameStop. That was a little bit different. But I'm saying just whatever. It's their money. They could do whatever they want. I'm ranting at this point. Go for it. You make money. Hey, you did it. Good job.
Yeah.
Honest way to do it.
So I think I only have one more topic to discuss before we wrap it up, but just really quick, the SWE token is going to
Whee!
be SWE. Everyone's been talking about it in tandem with Aptos, right? So SWE, just a little background on them. So everyone has heard of when Meta, aka Facebook, had their um, kind of like their blockchain, right? Of they wanted to build out their token. And it was like a DM program. It's literally DIEM. They had a program to build this little sector out. So they had a team. Due to regulations and due to all of the, you know, um, the rules that were happening and how Facebook was, um, it was kind of going under. I think I'm not really a big fan of Facebook at all. I'm not sure with you, Drake, but
I love
otherwise,
Facebook. I go on it every single second of the day.
same with Instagram. But yeah, they had this team. It sort of failed, but the team itself broke up into two different teams, right? So one was to make Aptos, and this is not affiliated with Meta or Facebook at all, but the team that was working on this, they broke up essentially into two different teams, and they made their own projects. One was Aptos, which came out, and it's probably trading around a good bit of money right now. I think at least $10. I think. And then the other one is SUI, SUI. So it's been anticipated for a while. They have a really talented team. Both Aptos and SUI has a high valuation.
I love that name.
Sweet, right? Yeah, I love it too. I loved Aptos as well. But we all know what happened to Aptos. Really, nothing's going on that ecosystem. But I mean, that it's still the bear cycle, so who knows how it's going to be built out. But otherwise, this team has built out this SUI, the SUI Foundation. They built out this new layer one, and essentially what it is, it's that it's fast, right? It's the TPS is ranging around like 10 to 300,000 TPS transactions per second. They have a really crazy stack team. I think to call out Evan Chang and Sam Blackshear. Evan Chang had high affiliations with Apple, who helped build out the operating system for the iPhone, and had a really high position over at Facebook, and so crazy co-founder there. But yeah, I mean, we're looking at this team, and the team is solid. The technology is solid as well. And just to bring to light about this, and we talked about DAG before, but Drake, do you want to? I mean, if you
Are you
know,
talking
do
about
you want
Constellation or DAG technology?
DAG technology?
Okay, yeah, because DAG is an actual coin as well.
No, I'm not talking about that. Yeah, so Sui runs on DAG. Do you want to break down what DAG means in comparison to like the traditional like blockchain, or do you know?
I haven't researched it enough to know
No worries.
exactly what it is, but I do know it's a little bit different where like my transaction that it's kind of like Phantoms. Actually, Phantom has an EVM and a DAG chain, so they're two different things.
Mhm.
But when I process a transaction and it's confirmed by someone else, I now process someone else's or confirm someone else's transaction type of thing. If I understood it correctly. But basically, like instead of just having validators, we all kind of do our own transactions type of thing.
Yeah, so there is a photo that I'll send over to you, Drake, so you can kind of post it. But it's just really a blockchain. It goes from one block one to block two, block three. Once what block one is verified through the system, the process, it moves on to the second block, number two, and then so on and so forth. Well, DAG is very interesting, where it validates multiple transactions at once, and I believe that's their consensus protocol. It's kind of like their on like how I'm not a dev, so, and I actually might want to send this over to you before I forget, Drake. But yeah, just to take a look at that, DAG is actually, it's very interesting. A little bit more on that in future episodes, because I want to kind of dig a little bit more deeper with DAG, because it was not the first time I heard about it. This seems to be at a high level. It seems to be like another faster route in terms of scalability, because obviously everyone knows that ETH is kind of like a who pays the most gas transactions will go first, right? And L2s was the answer to all of that, and to kind of was the solution to having these high gas fees on mainnet. So obviously you have Arbitrum, Optimism, and these other L2s that are really dirt cheap to use and have been really super successful. Now they I'm actually going into deep with Sui. It's it's very bullish when it comes to, like, if you look at this from like Solana, right? Solana was the first L1 to use the programming language Rust, and so when the Mistin Labs, aka the folks that founded the Sui network, they wrote their own programming language, and so the programming language is I can't. Why am I forgetting right now? The program language is called Move, right? Move. So this is what the DM, Facebook's team was working on. They created their own language, programming language, and so both Aptos and Sui are using the same exact programming language, and it's actually like it's kind of close to the programming language of Rust. So if you ever used Solana before in the past, whatever, Solana is very, very fast. And every time I used Aptos, it was very extremely fast. It reminded me of the kind of like the setup that how Solana was working. And just kind of take a look at what's going on with Sui. Take a look at that. Go do your due diligence. The token is going to be um, offered on 3 different exchanges. I believe it's KuCoin, OKX, and Bybit, and this is coming out tomorrow on the 3rd of May at around 8 a.m. Eastern. So I might actually take a stab at this and hold on to this token and potentially migrate this over because that's when mainnet goes live as well tomorrow. And so I want to kind of take a look at what's going on and to check out the dexes and see if there's any opportunities with farms and obviously I'm gonna
Yeah,
shoot.
but they aren't even doing an airdrop anymore.
There's no airdrop, which is really
Yeah,
sad.
you can
A lot
do
of
a stake drop on um, Binance. Like
yeah.
I heard about it. I didn't mess with it though because I don't have Binance. But they say you like deposit. I saw like a tweet going around with Justin Sun and whatnot. He was trying to farm it all, but basically you use TUSD or BNB in order to farm this coin. But yeah,
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see like how the Sui ecosystem kind of opens up, and I mean, there's already protocols that are kind of waiting right now to go live with the Sui mainnet tomorrow. So it's gonna be awesome to see
oh,
how
dude,
that
did you
turns
see
out.
the nice flywheel? It looks like this proposal is going to pass on Cosmos for Stride, basically adopting interchain security. So Stride is going to be like the protocol that is basically going to be able to be the go-to LSD for the Cosmos tokens. So they're going to get like Stride would share revenues with Cosmos. So it's basically this is kind of like tying the band with Cosmos' Stride and basically just being like, hey, this is our go-to. This is the guy we use for LSDs. Uh, and based on this, they would get a share of Cosmos, and then Cosmos would get a share of Stride. So you can kind of look at it like Curve. But take a look into the proposal. It's proposal 794 on Cosmos. And the TLDR in the proposal is that Stride is going to share various revenue streams with Cosmos Hub 15% of liquid staking rewards. So, like if they are doing it. They're doing liquid stake Juno, liquid stake Stars, Osmo, Atom, whatever. 15% of those rewards go back to the Cosmos Hub. 15% of the Stride inflationary staking rewards go to the Cosmos Hub. 15% of MAV go to the Cosmos Hub. And 15% of transaction fees go to the Cosmos Hub in exchange for getting 450,000 Cosmos tokens. Think it'll be kind of interesting. This is going to be provided to an ST Atom liquidity pool on Astroport's Neutron deployment, so you can go farm those tokens if you want to.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to Osmos, not Osmos, Cosmos.
Cosmos.
Yeah, in a long time.
Yeah, maybe they'll get their heyday. Both Cosmos and Polkadot are both being slept on. I think Cosmos is going to win it over Polkadot, though. Polkadot, I don't know. They're just a money chain. Cosmos they got a little money, but not as much as Polkadot did. But yeah, we'll see.
Polkadot just took a lot of. They soaked up all that liquidity during those
Parachains.
parachains. Yeah,
Yeah,
those auctions, which is just nuts.
I remember that.
Yeah, I still have money locked up in a parachain.
Me too.
Yeah.
No way.
Yep. Yep. Um, you live and you learn.
Yeah, that was fun. Don't lock your
Otherwise,
money up, guys. Don't do it.
yeah, I'm not into it. I don't want to lock up anything anymore. But yeah, that's all I have on my plate. Do you have anything else there, Drake?
No, I think we went long enough. What is it?
Yeah.
Like 2 hours? Sorry, guys. Are we? Oh, the Pepe memes. Oh, dude, there's Bob, the one holding the can and the cig. That's funny. Um, that one's the Bob meme. That one's hilarious, dude. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so dumb, man.
Mhm. Mhm.
Don't worry, guys. I'll share you guys a screenshot of this.
Yeah, but yeah, appreciate it. We'll, like, subscribe, all of that, and you know, let us know what your thoughts are on the topics, and if you guys wanted to know anything else for us to dive deep into, we would love to have some topics if you requested from you guys, and we'll definitely do that due diligence for you and break it down. Um, Otherwise, stay safe out there, and Drake, you want to hit him?
Dude, which Proverbs should we go in? Proverbs 10, 12? I think we'll do 11. We'll spice it up. This one's cool. Okay. So, most people already know this, but Proverbs chapter 11 verses